Next stop, please, driver. My name's Ant, you know me, and this is...
My name's Carly, and I've been working with Ant since he started anyway.
How long have you been with Transdev now?
I've been with them 2 years in April, officially.
So you've been 2 years, I've been 1 year, I think 1 year and 9 months?
Yeah,
September
you
I
started just after me.
September the 5th, I think it was, I started training with Mama Tracy.
I love Tracy.
You had Tracy as well, didn't you?
Yeah, we both had Tracy.
So we're both 464 drivers. Carly is a 4-day roster driver.
Yeah, but I do more than 4 days.
You do more than 4 days. And I'm a 5-day roster, sort of do the same duty most Monday to Friday, but I have been doing overtime, as you've seen in the videos. So we put out a post about 7 days ago, was it? 7 days? 10 days ago? 12 days ago, here we are. I've asked you what you wanted to know about being bus drivers, what things we face, what we get up to. So we thought we'd just sit down and record this little episode, podcast-esque type thing. So the first question comes from Jack H24. He says, "Hello Anthony, what do you need to become a bus driver? What hours are there for bus drivers, and how long does it take to learn a bus route? Cheers." So 3 questions. What does it take to become a bus driver? If you can remember.
There's quite a few tests involved with being a bus driver. First of all, you've got to obviously apply, have an interview, have a drugs test, and then you train how to drive a bus. But whilst you're doing that, you've got to do your hazard perception, you've got to do your theory, you've got to do your reversing test, CPC, and then it is your final test. I didn't pass my test first time. I passed second time.
I passed second time as well.
It's not really a big issue if you don't pass first time.
I had a massive incident with a woman in an Audi who I had right. Well, you don't have right away, do we? But yeah, second time.
Well, mine was second time as well, but I got quite a few minors on that as well. But first time I didn't pass because the driving instructor, well, what are they called? Driving
DVLA instructor.
Yeah.
DVL
test instructor person wanted me to go onto a curb, so mount a curb, so I'd miss the traffic light on my right hand corner, and I didn't mount the curb and nearly smashed into the lights. So yeah, that was fun. Failed straight away.
I remember we went out for a test. Tracy took us out for a test run, and she was taking a driver. There is a driver now at Transdev. He's a lovely lad, and she said to him, "Watch that corner when you come out of the test centre." And we're all stood there having a brew, and she went, "Don't look." And we turned, and he took the corner, and he ran over the grass, and she went, "You not do that, I'll hit you with a bloody spoon."
And she really did have a wooden spoon. She'd tell you off and smack you with it.
I got the
But you know
clipboard.
what? She's the best lady ever.
Yeah, she's not doing it no more. Gordon's doing it now, apparently.
Yeah, she's going to Elland now to train people. So if anyone from Elland wants to train for Transdev, you may actually get Tracy.
Hi, Tracy.
She's wonderful.
We love you.
Hi, Tracy.
You're probably watching this. People at work do watch these. You also need to have a UK driving licence or a valid driving licence in the UK, I think.
You've got to be 18 and over.
Yeah, because there's that lad that's only just passed. That saw on the news. He was like 17 and he's passed his bus test, but he can't drive a bus yet.
I think if you want to go into coaching, a lot of them want you to be 21.
Yeah, there's more. There's coaching. Coach driving is a lot.
But we have a guy on our route. He passed his driving test, and then I think it was a month or 2 later, he went and did his bus test and passed, and he was only 18, 19.
Yeah.
Haroon.
Oh, was it Haroon?
Yeah.
I did not know that. Oh, hang on. _01. What happens if you forget the route you take, or do you have an app or phone navigation software you can use, and how does this work in training?
Quick one. If you forget the route, the passengers will let you know you forgot the route.
Someone famously, I'm not going to name the person because it was one of those. It's dead easy to do on the 464. You can turn.
I know what you're going to say.
You can turn too soon and end up in a bingo centre, and yeah, it's dead easy. But no, we don't have navigation. The closest thing we've got now, Ticketer released an update, I think about 8 months ago, where it actually names and shows you all the times the stops that you're meant to go to. We can only see this when the card's loaded up on the system. But that's like the closest thing to navigation. It's a case of
you sitting there learning where to go.
Yeah.
And
well, you said this the other day, didn't
getting
you?
it ingrained in your head, really. And the more and more you do something, obviously, it just becomes habit, and you don't forget. Like, I'm dyslexic, and I learn from like visual. So like when I train people, because I mentor as well, so does Ant.
Not done it for a while.
I mentored somebody not long ago, and I point out like places like if you see an Aldi on your right or Aldi on your left, I'll say, right, remember the Aldi, or remember the Suzuki store, or just buildings really, and that's how I found it easy to learn.
Yeah, I'm pretty much similar. So for me, it's
like when you told me about 6 and 7, 7, 8, attack the hill.
Yeah.
And I don't go wrong because we just do them stupid things.
Yeah. So on the 6 and 7s, the 7, I still don't know the numbers properly. I think it's the 6. The 6 out of Accrington goes down Thwaites Road, but the 6A goes up Thwaites Road. So I always say 6A, attack the hill. People must sit behind me and be like, "What the bloody hell is he talking about? Attack the hill." For me, I find in points of interest as well. So like pubs. What's the other thing I find?
Maybe like a post box that's red or something like that.
Post box, red. So especially when we used to have the Irwell line, we used to switch between 464 and Irwell. So sometimes you'd be like, you come into Rottenstall different ways, and you know the way into Rottenstall on the 464.
But your head's telling you to go one way, and you know you shouldn't be going that way, but you still go the right way, but you have to think about it.
Yeah, so it's like when you used to come out on a Sunday. Drivers never used to do it properly on a Sunday.
Oh yeah, we had to go up Turnpike.
No, but do you not know this? I got told off for this, and I don't know why I must have done something wrong. I must have upset someone somewhere. You come out the bus station, you're meant to turn left and turn left again, and go through the town centre instead of going round the roundabout, because you have to select Asda as your first stop. And when you come through the town centre...
Oh, well, I didn't do that.
No one did. I was the only one that did it, and I did it the one way one time, and I come back into the bus station after a trip, and they went, "You went the wrong way." And I went, "What do you mean I went the wrong way?" Because you were meant to come back through the town centre.
Well, I came back through that way, but I didn't go through that way.
The reason you were meant to go through that way is because when you go round the Rottenstall roundabout, you end up having to cross 3 lanes of traffic.
Yeah.
Where when you go through the town centre, you go straight diagonally across and then pull back through. So yeah, I got told off for that, and then I was one of the only drivers that did it. So yeah, you tend to just pick points of interest and go for those points of interest. Other drivers use pubs. The problem is pubs are always closing down. And I think what we're really lucky with as well is we have a GPS announcement. So
yeah, on 464 it's amazing because obviously if we have someone that's deaf or visually impaired,
they can hear the stop.
It speaks.
But we can hear that as well. You can see it. We can hear that. So if you go off route...
I don't even hear it no more though.
I still do. But if you go off route, it stops talking because it knows the GPS coordinates. So I suppose we do have a little bit of a cheat there, but we're very fortunate that 464 is one straight road. It's up a hill, down a hill, round a hill.
A lot of people said, how do you not get bored? You don't even turn a steering wheel. But realistically, we do turn a steering wheel.
You don't get bored is by looking for Dirty Mike and the Boys.
Dirty Mike and the Boys.
I've not seen him for ages. Dirty Mike is a truck driver. The wagons, the 4 wagons that drive on the road.
When I see them trucks...
There's 5 now.
Do you know them lorries that say Hoya on them? I always think in my head, Hoya!
So, let's get back to it. Bus Muffin, 31003. Hi, Ant. Do you get a free bus pass with your company you work for? Also, what is the minimum wage for a bus driver? So yeah, we do get a free bus pass. I think we get up to 4. Is it?
Yeah, 4? We get 4.
You've got all 4, haven't you? I think.
Yeah, I got one for me and my family members as well, obviously.
So I have 2. I have one for Sarah, but she has the app. I have the card because I'm always losing my phone.
The last 4 or 5 years, if you leave the company, the bus passes need to go back, obviously, or you have to pay for them.
Yeah, and we have a working agreement as well with like 12 companies. So we can use them on Diamond, Preston Bus, Stagecoach. We can't use them in Greater Manchester anymore because of the GM rules around buses, which is a shame because I travel to Bolton quite a bit and then further from Bolton. But yeah.
As it's £2 any fare, it's not too bad anyway.
No, not really. And system ones are £5 anyway if you need to get more than one bus. And minimum wage, we have just had a pay rise. It's January, wasn't it? We've gone to the £15
an hour.
An hour.
But if you do start at Transdev at the moment and go to Rosso, it is £14 for trainees.
Yeah, trainees get a little bit less because you basically being paid to learn. So if you ever decide to become a bus driver, there are two options. You can go private or you can go with a public company like Transdev.
And then they'll pay for it.
Yeah,
and then basically you're paying them back a little bit while still earning a good wage. Like £14 is amazing. I started on £11 something. I can't remember. 11.
No, it was £10.50, wasn't it?
No, mine was £11 something. And then it went up to £12 something because, remember...
Oh, yeah, mine was £11.50, yeah, £11.50. But yeah, so not all bus drivers are paid the same because we operate near Greater Manchester and Rosendale is part of the Rosso Bus Company is part of Rochdale. We had...
For now,
yeah.
We don't know what's going to happen with
we're
Rosso.
not sure.
We're not sure.
So yeah,
we're still going to have jobs.
We still have jobs, yeah. We'll still... Once you're a bus driver, you've got a job for life, they say. So we get £15. I believe our colleagues in Blackburn unfortunately get a little bit less. I think it's about £14 something, but they're looking at getting it all the same. Stagecoach, I think they're on about £15.60. Maybe that's not true, but
I think it depends what area they're in.
Yeah.
Like if it's in the Manchester area, I think they get a little bit more.
No, it's set fee at 15.
Oh, is it set?
The idea is that it's to stop bus drivers leaving, go northwest and going to Diamond and Rolton and stuff like that. So that's why Andy Burnham set it as a flat rate at £15.
Oh, yeah.
It's to stop them
That's
moving
why everyone
around.
were complaining about Andy Burnham.
I don't know, I think it's a good idea.
I think it's good. I think everyone
It's
should be
improved
on
bus
the same
services.
amount of money.
It's improved the bus service in Greater Manchester, I think. I know they're not perfect, but buses are never going to be perfect. We try our best, and it's the roads. So yeah, £15 for us at Rosso. I think it's a little bit less at Blackburn, but that's soon to change. Same for Burnley, it's soon to change. But it all depends on the area you're in. I know Newcastle, we're having a big pay dispute, and I think they've managed to get...
How much are London on though? I bet they're on quite a bit, but obviously
I
they're...
reckon they might be on £16.90 or something, £17.
They need it for where they live, really, don't they?
Anyone that drives in London...
I could not do it.
No.
It looks absolute manic.
Yeah. What are your hours like? Sorry. Looks manic, yeah. Bus lad. Mr. Bus lad. Right. What are your hours like? Every shift finishes at a different time, so...
I could show you a little bit. I could start at 4:30 and then finish at, say, 4 o'clock. I do mainly like 10, 12-hour days, and mine's all over the place.
Yeah.
Whereas Ant has a fixed roster. If you want to look at a proper roster in detail, like someone that's on a 4-day roster, I'm sure I could show you that in the future.
Yeah, we could look at that in the future. Yeah, so I believe that how it's meant to work is you start on a line. So you start on like line 12 because it doesn't start at 1 and you're meant to work your way down the lines. I think with hours
it goes to 40, from 12 to 40, and each week you get your own line. And every time, obviously, you've done that line, you go on to the next line and the next line, and it swaps through all the drivers that way. So it's all...
the idea is everyone's meant to be able to get an early finish, a late finish, a weekend
it's fair,
off.
Innit, that
yeah,
way.
You guys get a really good... it's not really good. You get like 6 to 9 days off, don't you? But you've got to work.
Yeah, I'm on 6 days off now.
Yes, but they're not holidays, are they?
No, I've got 6 days off, and then I've got holidays as well on top of that.
But you've had to work for like 9 or 12 days to get that, haven't you?
I've just done 6 in a row, and my last day was a 13-hour shift. I went from 4-6-4 shift, and then I did some 6 and 7s, so you might see me about.
Yeah, so it's the 4-day roster tends to do longer shifts. 5-day rosters, even if they're not fixed, I think they tend to do about 6 to 8 hours. So you usually do 2 runs, where you'll do 2 and a bit or 3 runs altogether, won't you?
Yeah.
So the 4-day, it depends on what your personal preferences are. So 4-day roster fits some people better because they want more days off. 5-day fits me because of my childcare needs. So yeah, they can be long hours, and I think the maximum we can work is
10 hours.
10 hours driving. We can drive for 10
hours. But your shift can be longer.
Your shift can be up to 16, can't it?
Yeah, but that has to be breaks.
Yeah.
After the 10.
So as I explained, I think the working split video, which is up here, we can work longer days, but we can only get a reach of 10 hours for that, and because we're not split drivers, we can be paid through. Whereas drivers that are on splits don't, or whatever they get called. Is it splits? I can't remember the actual official name for it.
It's split shifts.
Yeah, split shifts. The drivers that are actually on splits don't get paid for their breaks.
But that's what they want to do. They've
Yeah.
applied for that and they've got accepted for that. It suits people differently. It's just what suits you, isn't it?
Yeah. MCR Transit YouTube, right. What is the most challenging route you've ever had to do? Also, have you ever had someone try to hurt you whilst driving? Most challenging route, I would say for me, it's a combination of the fours in Blackburn, Blackburn Road on a Sunday. Saturday and Sunday on the Blackburn Road, and so it's a two-part question really. So yeah, the most challenging route for me was the Blackburn Road number fours, and the reason for that is there's a lot of parked cars, and it's quite tight around Blackburn Road. I don't know, have you done the number fours yet?
No, I ain't done number fours. I've only done 6 and 7s and 1s.
You're lucky.
And 464. And I think 464 is quite a struggle on Sundays, but we are looking into changing that. It's very tight with the timings.
Yeah, Brendan said they were looking at the rewrite. But yeah, so the reason the fours are challenging is just the parked cars, the traffic. It's not a challenging bus route per se. It's quite a natural, nice, relaxing bus route. But one parked car in one wrong problem. It's like sevens. Is it sevens where you go through Great Harwood?
When you go through Park Road?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Park Road
Or,
and
Shakespeare Avenue.
So it tends not to be...
If you have a car, don't park it on Shakespeare Avenue.
Yeah, stay away from Shakespeare Avenue. We love you to bits, car drivers, but please stay away from Shakespeare Avenue and Park Road. Why can't you just go round like everybody else? You don't need to go through it. That's the challenge. It's basically other vehicles being in positions that you're like, oh God, my back end's going to hit it. Oh God, I'm going to scrape it. And the other part of that question, where has it gone?
Have you ever been hurt by anyone?
I've not been hurt. I've been threatened.
We've had drivers that have been punched in the nose.
Oh yeah.
I don't think that was his fault.
No, that wasn't his fault. That was insurance.
That was insurance, yeah.
Yeah,
because they didn't have no insurance and they crashed into him.
Yeah,
But the other guy, I don't know about that.
I've been threatened. I've been threatened because I've been late, and not me personally late. I've left the bus station and the bus has come in late. I got threatened and I felt like I couldn't drive after that. That was a couple of months ago actually, in November, really bad. He were really upset, and I'm quite kind. I will apologise.
Do anything for anyone.
I'll apologise for being late, and I always say I'm really sorry for being late. Really sorry for the delay you've incurred. But this guy just lost his crap at me, and he sort of like pushed his way past.
It comes to a point where there's only so much nice you can be, and I'll be nice to anyone and so will Aunt. But if you just. They just step across the line sometimes, and that's your boss. You're a manager. You're your own manager on that bus. And if you say they can't get on because they're verbally abusing you, they can't get on.
Oh, he was on the bus. He verbally abused me, got on the bus, and he continued to scream and shout at me.
No, I would have just turned my engine off and not even gone until he got off.
I turned the engine off. I went to get out of the cab because you're not meant to.
And that's our choice. That's our choice. We are allowed to do that. Yeah. If you're threatening us, we are allowed to do that.
And to be fair, I'd say 99.9% of the customers are pleasant enough, and there are customers that we do know that have issues with our route because it is a challenging route and things happen on it. This week alone, we've been 40
minutes
to
late
an
for
hour,
my break.
to an hour to 2 hours late, and it's not because we're like, oh, we're just going to get out and take a quick Snapchat and because I don't record videos if I'm running late.
No, obviously.
Because I can't do it. It's not fair on the customers. It's things like road traffic users and traffic on the roads that causes it. But yeah, so he was just not happy that day, and I've not seen him since actually. But I don't hold a grudge against him.
We get how frustrating it is for passengers.
Oh, yeah. We're in the same thing. We want to go on.
We're doing the same thing. Like most of the time on 464, I am an hour late home. Most of the time. If there's roadworks on that road, which 99% of the time is, there's only 1% of the time which there ain't roadworks. No, I
counted 42 sets of roadworks last year.
42 on that route alone.
15-mile stretch of road. Have you ever had anyone try to attack you or hurt you?
No, I've never really had issues, and like if I've had issues, I've been able to sort it.
Yeah, there was people on the back of the bus.
I had 2 people on the back of my bus kicking someone's head in, but that's a different story.
So yeah, and what's the next question is user TB9K. I'm not even going to read that. User TB says, and the first check. So a first check in the morning is, what do we do in the first check in the morning? I haven't recorded a video about this.
You've got to check the front of the vehicle.
We check everything, don't we?
Yeah.
every morning a vehicle we select, we
have to check the ramp, the front, the mirrors, the tyres, the emergency exit,
the certificate,
the certificates on the side,
legal lettering,
any scuffs, make sure the fire extinguisher's in there,
in the
make
right
sure
position.
there's no rips or tears in the seats. The list goes on, but it becomes habit.
Yeah. So when you think to yourself, oh, this bus is breaking down, it's not because we have poor maintenance or anything like that. It's because they are used so much. So yeah, it takes about 7 minutes to do it. Once you get into it, it's like 7 minutes the first check. Maybe I'll do a video about it. Right. Do all bus drivers get trained to learn how to drive every type of bus at the depot?
No.
Yeah.
No. So we were taught in a B10. We never drove, anything other than the B10. So when we got put by ourselves, I had to drive a double-decker, and I'd never driven a double-decker before.
No, that's true, actually, yeah. I got to
and I literally pooed my pants. Well, I didn't, but you know what I mean.
We do it, though. As a mentor, I do it.
It's a lot easier to drive a double-decker. The steering's a lot better,
Yeah,
I think.
As a mentor, do you not take them out in the bus?
In
the depot?
The last one I taught, he had a double-decker, so it was nice to see him have that, because if not, he would have had to do it himself when he got by himself. So no, we don't get taught how to drive other vehicles, but if you know how to drive a bus, you should know how to drive any of them. Yeah.
We do get vehicle acclimatisation training, which is different, which is we go through vehicles, so an Opta is different, so there are Opta 464s, there are Opta Blackburns, they are different interiors, different control panels, different engines, so we have to know how to change gears in them. Obviously they're automatic, but the Blackburn ones have a stick, where the 464 ones have buttons. We then have obviously Volvo BLT7 Deckers, which are the Deckers.
You know more about buses.
No, it's because everyone keeps telling me about them. I've just learnt over the last 6 weeks and 9 weeks doing this. And we also have Eclipses, so we have to show them, because we've got Gen 1 and Gen 2 Eclipses, because 1700 is an old bus.
Yeah.
So we do vehicle acclimatisation, but it's more when the vehicles are there. So like when we had George came, lovely lad, I'm sure he left.
Oh, I hope he sees this video.
I hope he does. I miss George. I hope he comes back.
Ice cream van.
Yeah, I took him around, and we went through a couple of vehicles, and we had a couple of do's around the yard, and it was because there were vehicles in that had like finished safety checks from the mechanic side of things, so we were able to take them out. But 9 times out of 10, we just do the vehicle acclimatisation training, like Carly says. Once you've learnt to drive one bus, they're all pretty much similar. Right, so that is, what's the next one? Bus_photographer.
What do you hate or no?
What do you hate the most about the job, and what do you love most about the job?
One.
I wouldn't say hate. I don't think there's anything hate. There's pet peeves.
I think hate's a strong word.
Yeah.
And you shouldn't really use it like with anything. It is just dislike.
Pet peeves, I would say. What are your what pet peeves do you have the most? I'm not going to say mine, because I think people are doing it now more to annoy me, but you know my biggest pet peeve.
I don't actually.
Do you know?
No.
Oh. What's your biggest pet peeve about being what people do on the buses?
When people don't take the ticket and put it in the bin.
That your biggest pet
peeve?
That
frustrates the living daylight out of me. It prints out right and someone leaves one. Next person gets on, prints out, someone leaves one.
Yeah, because they don't want to take it, do they?
Next minute, I've got tickets this big. You can't see that big. But it's not, I don't think that's my biggest. It's just very frustrating. Probably that we don't have... No, I can't say that.
No, I don't. You'll tell me later anyway.
I can't say that.
No.
I don't know.
Mine is running late and getting to a bus stop and people aren't ready for you. They're at a bus stop and they haven't got...
Yeah.
Especially if it's freedom pass.
Especially the passes.
Yeah.
When they've got them in the bag and you're running late and they come over and they're like, just 1 minute, love. Looking in the bag, pulling stuff out, looking like...
We're 10 minutes
late. I'm 10 minutes late.
And,
you knew I would come in.
And there's 96 stops on the 464, so... I think there's 96, I'm sure I counted last time. There's 96 stops on the 464, so if you imagine you pick up at every other stop, and every person, when you're running late, is doing that, the time just falls away. So that's
what I mean. When you lose time, it's really easy to lose more time.
Yeah, especially at 9:30. 9:30 I find is one of the... I do that 9 o'clock duty, where it leaves Accrington on a Monday, Tuesday, and sometimes it's late. But I start getting... At Rottenstall, I get the passes. Rottenstall's fine because you're parked up. But when you get to places like Waterfoot, Baycup, where you're not parked up and you're at a bus stop and everyone's getting a pass out and everyone's then walking to the back of the cab because you've got to let people sit down. Back of the saloon, sorry.
Yeah, but I've seen some drivers don't,
No.
which is pretty disrespectful, but you know.
But yeah, so for me, the biggest my thing that annoys me is people not being ready with the passes.
I didn't know that.
Mine
is the tickets and the rubbish.
There's another one, but I don't want to say it because I know people use it.
Well, that's why I didn't say.
No, I know people to use it. They'll use it to take the piss out of me. So I'm not going to.
What I love the most about the job. This was the next question.
This is the second part to it, wasn't it?
I'm a people person. I love people, especially friendly people. I like meeting new people. I like training new people. I also like being the only woman on 464. If you see a woman on 464, it will be me. That is
you
it.
You are now, aren't you?
I'm the only woman on 464. Which is a bit crazy. Especially being young as well. I get a lot of people come on and be like, oh, you're too young to drive a bus. You're too pretty to drive a bus. And I'm like, I like doing this job. I'm not none of it.
Job, innit?
I'm not none of it. Like, just leave me alone. Get on my bus. Say hi. Say bye. Have a conversation with me if you want. But
yeah. That's
you don't need to mention age, sex. You can. Religion. It doesn't matter what you are. You can be a bus driver.
Yeah, for me, working in IT to working in supermarkets and working in IT, like the stress of getting up at 9, getting to work at like 8:30, and you've got a meeting. Just like, oh my god, a meeting. There's no meetings. It's you get in the bus, you put the ticket machine on. You load up your first lot of passengers who are hopefully ready for you.
And you just love life.
You greet them, because I always greet passengers for the simple fact they may not... I always think that, like my grandparents, they might sit at home and not talk to each other.
You're like, you might be the only contact of that day.
Even young people, I don't think young people talk to each other. So I always make sure I say good morning, good day, have a nice day, take care of yourself. And it's not because I'm trying to win something or be like... It's all about making sure that people have that connectivity and stuff. So for me, it's the fact that I can get on a bus, do my job. I give that bus to Carly next, if it's Carly or Hassan or wherever is next, and I go home. I clock out. I go home, and I'm like, I'm done. That's it.
There's no hassle. No one's messaging you saying, "Why have you not done this? This hasn't been done." Or
there's no catch up. There's no follow up.
Do you know what I mean? Like, there's no one. Once you're done, you're done. Yeah. You don't need to worry about it. You don't just forget about a bus if you don't want to.
Yeah, it's stressful. It has its moments of stress, which is like with the road and the frustration.
Running late and...
Yeah, because we don't want to run late. Because when we run late, we are basically running late to finish. So like it comes out your break or it comes out your end of day. We get paid for it, but
we all have lives at the end of the day.
I don't want to be 40 minutes late. I want to go home and see Seb. I want to go home and do my shopping or come home and edit a video, essentially. Or
do what you want to do with your life.
But for me, like, the fact that I park the bus up at night and I get off and I speak to the shed men, and that's literally like a line under the sand. Or I can go on holiday.
I love the shed men. I love Zach.
Yeah, Zach is awesome.
Zach's in one of the videos on here.
Yeah, I didn't ask him about that, and I don't think he was too happy. So I'm sorry, Zach, if you're not happy about that. You can come with. He wants to come out and do videos, like camp film, and I was like, proper up for it, you know. But
Rob's alright as well.
Which one's Rob?
Rob's the
Is he the tall one?
Yeah, oldish.
Is he the one that sweeps or is he the one that refills? There's one that always refills.
He refills.
Right.
It's not Brian. Is he called Brian?
I don't know.
I don't know his name.
No, I don't know his name. I don't know his name.
Because
no one wears name badges. I don't know half the people.
There's Rob. Mucky.
I think Rob's the tall one. I'm sure Rob's friends with
Mucky, Zach, and I don't know the new guy's name. Do you know his name?
I don't, but I know he's a subscriber. He does subscribe, and we were talking.
Well, we need to find out his name, don't we?
Ask Zach. I can't. No one wears name badges. That's another thing. Like, I don't know half the drivers on our side.
He knows brew time, so brew time.
Brew time. But yeah, so for me, it's just being able to draw a line under the stand of it. It's like you can go on holiday.
Is there anything else you can think of, like, people would actually want to know?
I don't know. What made you become a bus driver?
I worked at McDonald's originally, and it was too stressful. It was like I was taking everything home with me, just the stress, and it was affecting my mental health. So I left there and moved to like production kitchen for Cinnabon, and I worked there for a year. Whilst I was working there, they were really short on drivers for the delivery van, and that was driving up and down the country delivering like sugar, the products. So they asked me to do it, and I said no. They begged me to do it, so I eventually did it. And I was driving up and down the country doing 350 miles a day. But they was taking the mick out of me. I wasn't having the breaks. I had bruises all over my thighs, and it was just taking its toll on me. And my father-in-law said to me, "Why don't you be a bus driver?" And my first reaction was, "Why would I want to be a bus driver? It's full of old men." So that was my first reaction. But then I thought about it, and I thought, I like people. I like driving, so I can just give it a go. And here I am, nearly 2 years later. I enjoy it.
Good.
And what about you?
Well, I've always worked in technology. I've worked in customer service and technology most of my career. Got made redundant from Enjoy Technology, which was part of part of BT sort of thing, where we went to people's homes, and we did it during COVID, so it was like not really much interaction with people. Kind of like helping people. And when I got made redundant, I was like, I fancy a change. And I saw a bus that said, "Mo used to work in a petrol station, now drives your bus."
Was it more?
Yeah, I genuinely saw there was Mo's advertisement. Bus was going around Millhill when I saw it, and I was walking up to Millhill post office to go and post a letter or something. I was posting something out for my tax, and I saw it, and I couldn't capture the number on the back of it, and I just thought to myself, like, I've known people who've been bus drivers.
And they've really
Callum's a
enjoyed
bus
it
driver,
for years.
and he worked for me at Tesco in Accrington, and I would say he's the happiest he's been for a long time as a bus driver.
Yeah.
So I thought to myself, I enjoyed the drive aspect. Like during COVID, I drove for Tesco.com. That was fun. That was brilliant. The problem with that was they cut the hours down, so it was like 4-hour contract. So when I joined BT Enjoy, it was full time. It was quite good fun. I was up and down the country around Manchester, Blackpool, Notts End, Lancaster, all that lot, right down to the airport. I loved it. It was fantastic. And you met people from all walks of life: footballers, famous people, musicians, barristers, and that's sort of what being a bus driver is. You do meet everyone
from different aspects of life.
I've still not met a footballer yet on a bus, but there's still time. But I've met,
like, you've only been here like nearly 2 years.
No, but I've met some nice people on the buses. I've met people. There's a couple of.
But there is still a lot of more nice people that we are going to meet because we're on Rosso side. We would eventually like to
be Blackburn drivers.
Be Blackburn drivers. Hopefully by March. Hopefully.
That would be the dream.
We've got our fingers crossed.
That'd be the dream to be.
Frank, if you're watching this.
Yeah, can we have the job in Blackburn, please? No, in all seriousness, like the reason for why I want to be in Blackburn is it puts me closer to my family in a sense. Like, I don't have to drive to the depot and I get the staff bus. Obviously,
well, when I applied, I originally thought I would be a Blackburn driver straight away.
I did.
But with Transdev, Blackburn, Burnley and Rochdale, at the moment, it's still, if you apply, you still just go straight to Rosso.
Which I think is a good thing.
It is good, but like, the routes are minimal. And like
for us it is.
For us, because we only have 2 routes. We've only got the 464 and the Bury Bolts.
They're gone.
Bury Bolts are going.
Yeah, I didn't get part
this month. I got the choice to move over, but I got told it was very quiet, and to be honest, I just didn't want to do it. I'd already knew the 464. I'd never driven it. I already knew it, so I thought, what's the point going over to Bury every day? When I already know 464, I knew Ant was over here, so I was like, might as well join Ant.
Yeah. Because you were originally Irwell, weren't you?
I was Irwell, and they got moved to Burnley.
Yeah. Because that's when Vision came over from Bolton, didn't they?
Yeah.
They came over from Bolton. They must have took some of the
smaller
routes.
Blackburn, I think have they got 10?
I don't know. I've no idea. I heard...
Manchester's.
Oh, no, routes?
Yeah, Manchester's 4s, 22s, 6 and 7s.
I think they've got 8.
6 and 7s.
Let's have a look. Let's go on the
Yeah, have a
transport.
look. Because I don't know how many there actually is.
Mobile tickets. Is it mobile tickets? No, it won't be
No,
mobile
it'll be
tickets.
timetables.
Was it timetable?
Timetables it'll be in. Maybe.
Yeah.
So click Blackburn.
9 services.
So yeah, there's 9 routes.
But somehow it still classes the Irwell as one of their routes. And the college bus, but we don't do the college bus.
We don't do it well, so it'll be 8 then,
So
won't
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 routes. The 7 routes, but the 6 and 7 classes is 4.
is not on there.
Yeah, but 6 and 7 classes is 4 routes.
All right, yeah.
So it's classed as 1, but there are 4, 6 and 7.
4 different ones,
4
yeah.
different. Well, there's 2 different variants. 3 variants, isn't there?
There's 4 different services.
And technically, Clitheroe and Blackburn, that doesn't.
Yeah,
that's
but
like 3.
that's Shad as well, isn't it?
Yeah, but that goes to. That's like 3 routes anyway, isn't it? Because it goes to Clitheroe sometimes, it goes to Blackburn.
Sometimes. To the hospital.
And then sometimes it only does Shad and Hospital.
Shad, yeah.
And then drops off. So there are, like, they have more.
Variety.
Yeah. I heard Red Express might come to us, but I don't think that will happen. I wish it would. Rosso got 43 routes. So Rosso have 43 routes.
But we only have 2.
We only operate 2 out of Blackburn.
For now.
Yeah. Blackburn only operates 2. Burnley operate, I would say, probably
Quite a few.
10.
Yeah.
Easily 10 to 15. And they've got a lot of schools as well, at Burnley. But yeah, we don't do schoolwork. But yeah, so that has been the first episode. I hope that has answered some
if
of
you
your
have
questions.
any more questions about anything,
Drop them in the comments
whatever
below.
you want to know, we'll answer them.
Drop them in the comments below.
It's been nice speaking to you all and meeting you.
Thank you for coming along, Carly, and doing this with us.
You're welcome. I'm sure I'll watch this back.
Yeah, I suppose for you it'll be like weird watching it back. For me, it'll be.
Won't be too
I'm getting
bad.
used to it now.
Yeah.
I'm getting used to watching myself back.
But it'll be weird if people actually come up to me and be like, "Oh, I've seen you
your
on that
video,
video,"
yeah.
and I'll be like,
Yeah.
hiding under my
Hiding your red hair.
under my red hair.
You haven't got much to hide from that, have you?
No, I can't really hide, can I?
So yeah, thank you very much for watching this episode.
We'll see you again soon.
Yeah, we'll do another one soon. If you've got any more comments, drop them in the link. Drop in the comments below. As Casey says, don't forget to hit the subscribe button.
Casey.
Yeah, Casey says to every time he sees me now, give us a like, hit the subscribe button, ring the little bell.
Get us to 100k.
No, not
100k.
1K. We're at 1K.
And 100 if you want.
Yeah, 100 would be fantastic. You want to get to 100K?
1K,
Yeah,
we'll
like-
have a celebration. I don't know what we're doing.
You're promising people things.
He's doing something.
She's promising. This is what happens when you bring someone along. It never-
We'll have cake together
Yeah,
and talk about something.
yeah, we'll have
Yeah?
cake. We'll have cake.
Yeah.
See you in the next one.